Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded anything, and I will explain at some point in the future, but I get into these ruts where I'm super creative and I'm super on top of everything and I'm really productive and I get a lot of things like filmed and edited and ready to be uploaded, and then I can't wait a week to upload videos, so I'll film like more than one, and because I can't wait, I end up uploading them all like within the same week, and then I then go through these like extended periods of time where there's just nothing for weeks and weeks on end. So I'm gonna try really hard to try and upload every week or at least weekly. And if I do end up in one of those moments where it's like, oh, I'm really excited, I'm gonna do lots of like filming and stuff and get everything edited, I'm gonna have to really force myself to not upload every single video like within 2 days of each other. So I'm gonna try. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, today or at least for this video, I just want to read out a poem to you. It was supposed to be part of a vlog that I was filming for the last few days, but it just seemed like it might have been a bit too long to film and I got really nervous. This is the first time I'm actually going to be, I guess, saying it out loud to you guys. And also bear in mind, I'm about 81% okay with it as far as editing it is concerned, because I'm sure there's probably going to still be lines in it that are totally fine right now, but then by tomorrow my idea about certain lines and certain words and certain phrasing might just go out of the window. So please bear that in mind. Also, this poem is a little bit long. I'll try and colour the poetry section of the video. It'll be like a really horrible purple or something, I'm not sure. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I would love to know what your thoughts are after you've actually heard the whole poem. And also, I won't be putting the words or anything on screen. I won't be publishing it on my website for ages yet because, like I said, I'm still editing it and I'm still not 100% happy with it in the state that it's in right now. So yeah, I think that's everything. So let me just go straight into the poem. This poem is currently untitled. Deep down in a warm cavity, hell has unleashed a part of itself, a nameless being from a seemingly formless depths. Not a child, but a killer of wished motherhood, gilded with bad luck, torment, and anguish, a laceration growing when the moon waxes. Screaming from behind a glass, crying out to a world where my reality ceases to exist. This pain made manifest, wrecking my body monthly, something I meant to hide. Why? Am I not a vessel enough, perverted for pain? Deep down, it lives, routinely making me lament on my knees, bigger and bigger than anything I have felt, almost a curse from the universe, perhaps a degenerate discomfort, an appropriate explanation that she was given, without reconsideration or reparation. Instead of laying under the moon, drawing her down, I wail in desperation over this unfair stagnation. This living, angry, abdominal abomination, it grips me, reminding me of its angry, agonizing, sickening chaos, unwrapping from inside its flower bed. My womb, no longer a gift from the gods, a cursed blessing of untold proportions, unable to scare away hailstorms or thunder, do my part. This thing spreads its weeds, destroying a garden centuries old from the blood of her descendants, blood and gold. A whirlwind of cells, an alien inhabiting, draining the body of life force. Cells whipping up a sad concoction of death, darkness, and strength, a condition I will lose my femininity to. Yet no decay is apparent outside of clots, no devilry afoot as I bend and contort, willing nothing but my soul to depart momentarily. Wishing for a time without this disease that has made itself home inside my sacred place, further acclimating what's not foretold. I remember a time long before this being took over my cradle, beautifully old, the pride and happiness it brought, even the mild discomfort on time, before medicines, bad diets, and lack of sleep, before stress gripped from the abyss. A thing of beauty, of life, a universal entity, the destroyer of collapsing civilizations, the hatred of many. A most heavenly taboo, an educator for the masses, a weapon of old, the bringer of life, but also the bringer of death. once worshipped with great honour instead. Each womb is a gift, an unfortunate turn of events, for a tiny selection of carriers, myself one, too. Is it not enough I harbour a barren wasteland, no longer the equal I could have been, losing even more to this disaster within, this hellish demon even nature cannot win? That was nerve-wracking. Oh my God, okay. Woo! Thank you for listening to my poem. It is currently the next day. I didn't really film an outro yesterday when I'd actually done the poem. It just got really intense, and I think I was just kind of overtaken by the fact that I had just said it out loud with the intention of uploading it, and in the end I kind of just scrapped the idea of doing an outro yesterday and just decided I'm done for the day, and then just went straight to bed. But I don't know, it's been a process. It's been an educational one, because I'm really playing around a lot more with poetic techniques and things. I really want to try and improve my poetry a lot more than I have right now. And that's the thing with poetry. You constantly keep writing and reading and analysing other poems in order to try and make yourself a better poet. It's the same kind of idea that you have when you're writing novels or writing essays and things. You try really hard to kind of understand how other essays have been written, what makes them work, how communication and imagery is built up in each of those, and then you're able to learn from those techniques and then improve your own writing. So that's what I'm still trying to do. I see it as a lifelong journey that I'm going to be on, hopefully, for the long run. And I just want to keep improving. But this is the most in-depth and most succinct and most precise poem that I think I've ever written for the long, ever, or at least in a very long time. Though it's definitely one of my favorite poems for sure. But it was a lot because of the way it started out when I first started writing it, and then where it's at right now, what it's about, and the fact that I've decided to place on myself the need to create something that was gonna be universally understood, if that makes sense. So the basic idea is that people who have uteruses and who have problems with their uteruses, health conditions with their uteruses, not so much a sort of a feminist look or anything like that, more a case of just medical problems that people can have. That was the universal sort of message that I had, which is why I didn't end up writing an entire poem about the two main conditions that I live with. I kind of wanted it to be something where if other people have problems, health problems to do with their uterus, they too can then look at this poem and think, okay, this is something that can help explain the anguish and the emotions and the terror and the fear that I have about my own health condition, said it or written down in words that I couldn't think of myself, type thing. Does that make sense? It's it started out as a fairly innocent poem. It then turned into an anti-sonnet of sorts, so 14 lines, lots of rhyming couplets. And then it just developed into this much more long form kind of free verse, almost blank verse piece. Because once I started really thinking about it in the terms of I don't want it to be too personal to me, I want it to be personal, but I want other people to also find it personal. It then became this really long piece, and I became very emotionally involved with it. I became very happy with it. I'm almost 100% happy, like I said. But it's something that I've worked incredibly hard on, and I think I was initially very scared for the last few weeks with the idea of sharing it with the world, especially in the current state that it's in right now. I actually started writing that in the middle of May. Middle of May, it's now the middle of July, and I don't know, there's a lot of heart that went into that poem, and I don't know. So I don't know. It's a bit of a risk to kind of put it out there. I think that's also part of the reason why I haven't uploaded much poetry to my channel. I did intend to upload poetry like once a month, but I don't know. During these difficult times at the moment, there's a lot of raw feelings and a lot of raw emotions that I'm dealing with on a sort of like on a political level, as well as on a personal level, and I'm just sort of figuring out a way how I can just grab all these various words and phrases and just try and put them together into something in order to channel whatever it is that I'm feeling out onto the page. And it's become a very introspective time for me. So I haven't been able to feel the confidence, I guess you could say, to upload any poetry for the longest time, but I'm gonna try. But for now, this is just my main focus, this particular poem, and to find a title for it, or at least try and figure out what the title is going to be. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to be talking about this poem for quite a while. But I'd love to submit it somewhere, but I don't know if it's any good. So you'll have to tell me. I don't know. I'm just very happy about this poem, but understandably I'm also equally as terrified about even putting it out there for anyone to hear. So yeah, I'm super tired. It's first thing in the morning and I'm absolutely knackered. I'll probably discuss more about the poem at a later date because I really didn't give you a lot of information in this video on purpose. Once I get more responses and feedback, then I'll be able to explain a bit more further what I mean about wanting the poem to be a bit more universal. But yeah, I think that's all for now. So thanks for watching.